Although they don't much talk about it, MG was one of the first brands in Bangladesh to dip their toes in electrification. They bought one of the first EVs you could actually register and one of the first plug-in hybrids, the MG HS PHEV. Well, this is the second generation of it. This is the MG HS Super Hybrid, the second generation of the good old PHEV we got 5 years back. This one has a bigger battery, a much better hybrid system, and a 4-figure fuel economy if you combine the petrol and battery together. Along with the better battery system, it also got a facelift. You got a much more aggressive sporty front fascia with a massive grille which is mostly blocked off, the MG badge, LED matrix headlights, LED fog lamps, and some blocked off vents. Underneath the hood, you get a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to an electric motor, making around 295 horsepower and 350 meters of torque. However, this being the plug-in hybrid, when the battery runs out, the engine can move the car, and on its own, it makes somewhere around 140 horsepower and 200-something newton meters of torque. We'll put the numbers here. Combined, they give you around 1,000 kilometers of range, but if you just want to run it on batteries, you'll get 120 kilometers before you run out. Although the MG of today is quite different than the century-old British performance brand, they still make their car as aggressive as possible. Case in point, these 19-inch alloy wheels. Besides looking very edgy, they harken back to the MG ZS EV, one of the first electric cars you could legally register in Bangladesh. Moving further back, you got a running board, carbon accent on the door, and 172 millimeters of ground clearance. Moving further back, you got a 55-liter fuel tank and a bizarre quirk with the rear spoiler. It has a couple of indents which, while there, are not all the way through. It certainly looks interesting, but also kind of pointless. The carbon-like accents continues at the back, and MG had the smart idea to ditch any fake exhaust tip. The real exhaust is tucked underneath. Opening the power tailgate, you get around 507 liters of cargo space. You can triple that by dropping the second row. And underneath, there are no spare tire. There is a patch kit, a warning triangle, and the emergency charger. I don't quite remember how long it takes for this charger to fill up the battery. I think it's around 7 hours. We'll put the figures here. With all that said, let's move to the rear seats. MG was never about boring interior. The first generation, in Bangladesh anyway, had what they call the trophy interior, which were vibrant and bright. That theme continues over here. You get cream and black here, which is really bright, especially under the sun, all covered in this soft touch material. Beside that, you got panoramic sunroof, map lights, 2 USB port, an AC vent, and pulling this down, you get an armrest with cup holders. For music needs, there are 8 speakers sprinkled throughout the car, and the seat over here is actually very comfortable. I wouldn't mind taking a road trip in this one. With that said, let's move to the front seats. Now, the biggest change inside is the screen situation. You get 2, both of them are 12.3 inch, one for the driver and one for your entertainment and other users. One of the issues I have with this in this car anyway is the fact that MG decided to cram everything inside the screen. There are no volume knob, there are no ways to control your temperature. All of them has to be done through this one, or rather this specific screen, which can get a bit annoying. Beside that, you get a nice angular steering wheel with a bunch of buttons that does a plethora of function, but oddly none of them lets you control the AC temperature. The seats are powered and heated. You get 2 USB port and a 12 volt, 2 cup holders, a nice little wireless charger here, and a relatively deep center console, big enough to hold a couple of these. You also get a couple of reading lamp up top, a sunglass holder, and of course sunshade with built-in vanity lights or vanity mirrors with lights. Finally, there's a glove compartment. It's a very simple press a button and open situation. And that's about it. It's well equipped. It's exactly what you want. It has soft touch material when your eyes are and tough material where it needed. With all that said, time to drive it. Driving the MGHS Super Hybrid actually brought back some surprising memories. Namely, the car, especially in its electric mode, reminds me of its smaller, older brother, as oxymoronic as it sounds. I'm of course talking about the MG ZS EV. I drove the car almost half a decade ago now, but much like that one, if when you push down the pedal, this thing bolts. That's because the electric motor delivers around 350, if I remember right, newton meters of torque directly to the wheels as soon as you press down the pedal, just like an EV. Beside that, the car is very MG. It's great at straight line, but as soon as you throw it around the corner, there is significant wobble. That means on rough terrain, you get a softer ride. However, when you throw it around a corner, people will hate it, especially the backseat passengers. Tech-wise, it has all the standard stuff. You get lane keep assist, you get a bunch of parking sensor, 360-degree 3D camera, all of it tucked neatly inside the center console, or rather the center screen. Beside that, it also has a bit of an interesting quirk, or rather feature, namely this sensor that monitors you. If you feel drowsy, if you feel sleepy, this will complain loudly. Take your eyes off the road, give it the impression that you're not looking, and it will play an alarm. Finally, the goodies. Given it's a MG/Chinese car, the car comes with 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus relatively fast charger, free of charge, especially if you get it early. With that, all of that said, what's the price? Well, it's under 60. The official price is still on the wraps because when we are driving this car, the reveal haven't happened yet. Now, why would you get this car over a Star, which is better? The biggest answer is fuel economy. On battery alone, this car will cover 120 kilometers, or so it's claimed. Combined, it's over 1,000. So you'll make, or rather save, quite a bit on fuel. All that said, if you're looking for a car that is European design and lacks many of the craziness of all the Chinese plug-in hybrids, while at the same time being similarly equipped, and from a brand that's been around the country for a while, or rather a Chinese brand that's been around a while with a good word of reputation, this is the car you should get, or rather consider. That said, if you don't want to deal with the problem of plug-in hybrid or just want to save some money, MG will also sell a non-plug-in hybrid version of this car, which is going to be around 10 lakh cheaper. So if either of them interest you, contact them, they book a test drive, and then ultimately the final decision is up to you. That will be all. Thank you.